Okay, hey guys, back with another video. There will be noise in the background because today is the independence of Barbados and my mother cooking, so yeah. So I'll just put some music to block it out. I did this before, but when I did it, the audio wasn't that good, so yeah. So this is two Reborn Shinobi, and I got a little new ideas to go with it, so I don't mess it up this time. So I just play the music and get on with it. So we start this with we see Madara and Hashirama sitting in Purgatory. They're just talking out their problems, and Madara is telling Hashirama about what he's gonna do in the future, and there's nothing that he can say to stop him. And Hashirama believes him, but he's just glad to see his old friend again, and he is glad, and so is Madara. They have a little touching scene, and yeah. Then we see the Shinigami put his hand through their bodies and take out all their memories and abilities. They didn't understand why it did that, but they guess it was a deal of purgatory or something. It was then, and then some of the Shinigami's power went into them, but then at that point in time, Minato summoned the Shinigami. The Shinigami didn't have time to discard of them, so he still has them. So when Minato sealed the Nine Tails into Naruto, he also sealed the powers and memories of Hashirama and Madara in there too. We skip forward and we see a little Naruto where a man is talking to him with a mask on his face, and he took it off and just said, hide behind the mask, hide the pain behind the mask, and just don't look back. Naruto then took the mask and put it on, and then he went home. We skip forward another time to see Naruto on a pole, shouting for Kakashi and Sakura and Sasuke to come back and untie him. They didn't realize they weren't gonna untie him. The reason why they were gonna untie him because they didn't care for him. And Naruto realized that, and he just decided that struggling will just do nothing for him. He found a way to get out by having the many years of chasing, hiding, and escaping from villagers, using those tons of experiences in his life to get out of the situation that he's in now. Naruto then went home. Let's get forward again, and we see Naruto at the land of waves, but something's different. Instead of him in his cupid form, he's on the floor crying. His eyes turn a crimson red color with true turmoils. His hair, one side of his hair, which once had stripes of white hair and black hair in them, one half can turn completely black and the other half can turn completely white. And Naruto made a scream, and he saw Haku. He then started to beat Haku, but when Haku was going to try to sacrifice herself for Zabuza, Naruto stopped her and pulled her hand and hugged her closely and told her never to leave him alone, and he begged her to do that, and she let Zabuza die, calling Naruto her new master. Naruto went on to kill the rest of the shinobi with this, but his mind wasn't clear right now. It was foggy. But he decided that he would just, when he takes a rest, he'll be better. So they head back to Konoha with Haku, but Haku just packed up her stuff and went to Konoha. Naruto decided that he was good. And Haku was still a little hurt from the last mission, so Naruto carried her. Now, Naruto is also known as an Uchiha, but everybody thought he would never unlock the Sharingan, so yeah. Sasuke was shocked to see Naruto activate his Sharingan, no less his Tritomoi Sharingan. But he wasn't surprised too. When Sasuke asked how he exactly had the three Tomoe, you understand how you could have the Sharingan since you have some Uchiha blood, but why you have the three Tomoe? Naruto then bring up his life, and Sasuke knows the Sharingan works on the weight of emotions, and the emotions that Naruto felt as a kid wasn't anything easy. So he narrowed it down to that his Sharingan was dormant, and every time he felt pain, he gained a Tomoe, a certain level of pain, and he gained a Tomoe. He just never unlocked his Sharingan, and he just started to build up from there. Naruto got to the Third Hokage office with Naruto calling Third Hokage "oh man," just like usual, but you can see the coldness of Hiruzen to see that Naruto had his Sharingan. And Naruto and Sarutobi, or the Third Hokage, have a better relationship than they had in canon. More like a real grandson and grandfather relationship. So the Third Hokage would be glad for Naruto, and then he would tell Naruto that Haku could stay in the village, but he would have to sleep. He would have to be in the same apartment as Naruto, but Naruto didn't have any mind. Haku was a friend to him, and Haku moved in with Naruto. So Naruto carried Haku to his apartment, and he pulled out a futon, and let's see, Naruto's room is a little bit better, but when Naruto hit the bed, he went straight to sleep. Haku decided that she was gonna clean and cook for Naruto, and she cleaned the apartment and cooked good food for Naruto. But in Naruto's body was changing subtly, but it was still changing altogether. Naruto could now see that he had how to use certain jutsu like wood style, and that he could use wood style and great deep force emergence. He knew how to use his Sharingan perfectly. He knew that he had a Mangekyo Sharingan, but he didn't know the abilities. He knew one ability, which was called Limbo. I also knew that he had Storm Release. Storming Fang. Storming Wolf Fang, or I can't remember the name of it. Let me check. He could use Storm Release, Laser Circus, Storm Release Light Fang, Storm Release Storm Dragon, Storm Release Storm Lantern. He also knew a multitude of fire water, earth, and wind jutsu that he saw that he saw other people use, but he didn't actually see people. It was like Naruto gained experience and knowledge about the clans that he faced, the jutsu that other people used that he faced, and just their relationship all together. Naruto also realized that he was Uzumaki, so that meant he has Uzumaki stealing chains. All of this information flooded into Naruto's head, and he started to have a headache. And then he decided, and he was just split between if he was Naruto or he was whoever was seeing these things. Was he Naruto Uzumaki, or was he that person that's watching this? He was torn between two sides. He doesn't know if he's Naruto really. But then he said, no, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, the next Hokage of Konoha no Sato, Datebayo. And as those words were spoken from Naruto, all his memories combined with his, and he became the Naruto Uzumaki. Now, when Naruto waked up, he saw that his body's changed. He got a little bit paler, and his hair turned fully black on one side, and on the other side turned fully white. His body became more toned and muscular. His whiskers stayed the same really. His eyes became more sharper. His muscle reflexes became better. His reflexes in all just became massively increased. You could see that his strength was just God. But the most notable change was his chakra. His chakra was always golden, right? But it had this golden and purplish aura now, which Naruto didn't really mind, because that meant that he had denser chakra. And Haku came in and saw the Naruto. The only reason she knew it was Naruto was from the whiskers that was on Naruto's face. Haku then blushed towards Naruto to see how he looked. Naruto saw Haku and thanked her for cleaning his room, and Haku said no problem. Naruto then went out to train and test his power. He learned a taijutsu called the Interceptor Fist and the Nature Fist. He combined the both, and the Interceptor Fist is using the ability to kind of see forward in future with the Sharingan and compare with his strength and predict the person's movements and how they're gonna react to certain things. Naruto coupled this with the Nature Fist, which is enhancing your strikes and kicks and punches with chakra, ultimately giving you a stronger impact and lesser war done on your body. He mixed the both, and it was incredible. He used a shadow clone to do all of this, and he started to beat down, well, not beat down, but he did a wood clone, sorry, and they went in a taijutsu spar, and Naruto was just good all over. But anyways, Naruto then tried to test out his ninjutsu. He knew wood style and wood style dragon wood dragon. He knew wood style wood dragon. He knew wood style great tree spear. Wood style deep forest bloom. Wood style several thousand hands. What's the true thousand hands? Wood clone? What style Lotus King? What style All is Suffering? All is Suffering? I think that was his name was. What style Deep Forest Emergence? What style Shooting Sprout? Spring? I don't Soothing Spring, I don't know what that is. Wood style, four pillar house, wood style, wooden cage, wood style, great forest, wood style, settling string, I don't know. Wood style, wood dragon, wood style, wood golem. Haku would, after a while, come and train with Naruto, ultimately using skills that she could remember from her childhood when she was still in the Yuki compound, remembering a ice release called Ice Wolf and Ice Dragon and Ice Spears. She started to learn and remember the jutsu hand coordinations or the hand signs that she needed to use the jutsu. After a while, she perfected the jutsu and everything from there happened. She decided that she wanted to become a medical ninja and told the third Hokage. The third Hokage had no problem with it, but she still had to take Chunin exams after a while. But she couldn't take them this year because she just got in and they barely know anything about her. She had no problem with this and just went back to her house, or Naruto and her house. Naruto then went to Ichiraku ramen. He then went and get a bowl of ramen from the Sage of Six Bowls himself, Ichiraku, or Taiuchi, or Taiuchi, whatever you want to say. Naruto then went back home, and before he went back home, he went into a clothing store and he bought a dark black. Look, you remember? Imagine Kakashi's outfit without the Johnny flat jacket and the mask, and that's Naruto's outfit. Naruto left and went to test out his Mangeki abilities. He also bought bandages to put under his outfit so it just doesn't completely burn. And his shinobi outfit is fireproof, by the way. Naruto went to check his abilities. Naruto activated his Mangeki or Sharingan, which you should see on the screen, and he said, and a word popped up in his head, Imaterasu. And when he said this word, a black flame came out and started to burn. Then another word came, flame control. He then flame control and put the Ultimatu's flame out. He smirked and went back to what he was doing. He then closed his. Then he said that another word came into his head. Purgatory. A word popped up in his head. Purgatory. And the tree that he once saw just went into a portal of some sort, right? And he closed his left eye and he could see where the tree went. It went to a world that was full of black flames, being a combination of two of his abilities. Then he said Kamuri, and a portal appeared out of a portal came out. Wow, but the Kamuri world and Purgatory are two different dimensions, by the way, because it's a mix between two of his abilities. Back. And he could realize that he can make himself intangible and just overall teleport really. And he saw, and then another word came into his head, limbo. and he could see clones of just clones that was in a different reality and just could attack things that he wanted them to attack. He could use tree. He could only use tree, but tree was enough. Naruto went back home and to see Haku on the couch sleeping, most likely waiting on Naruto. He then we skip forward a few days after that. They see Team 7 at the training ground, Kashi telling them about the Chunin exams. Naruto took it without even saying a word to Kakashi, or actually saying a word to his team, and just left. Kakashi was puzzled because he thought Naruto would just jumped or joy or something, but he didn't really care really, and just left. Naruto started to work on his water ninjutsu. He realized that he had a comparable water affinity to the second Hokage, Senju Tobirama. He then went and he did some more training. Skip forward a week after that. So yeah, we see Naruto in the Chunin exams, and we see Lee fighting Sasuke, with Naruto following every single move that Lee did with just his eyes, his base eyes. Lee also knew Naruto as an Uchiha and decided to fight Naruto. Naruto's not hiding anything and just beat Lee with bare minimum effort. But he did compliment Lee and did something for Lee. He placed his hand on Lee's chest and
Happy Independence Day. I'll beg it. You got tomatoes there? Tomatoes.
He placed his hand on Lee's chest, and a purple golden aura came on Naruto's hand.
Oh.
And Naruto and Lee's hand started to turn. Naruto told Lee to do a hand sign, do this hand sign, and Lee did it, and his hand started to turn a red color, a burning red color. So did his feet. Naruto explained to him that he gave him the ability to use chakra, but you can only use it on his body. They'll be talking in background, please ignore it. Naruto, he told Lee that he could use chakra, but he could only use it on a certain part of his body. So if he had earth release, he can coat his hands in earth using one hand sign and so and so. Lee thanked Naruto and profusely thanked Naruto and left. Neji, a certain person, Neji, saw this and was surprised that Naruto could do this, but he didn't pay any attention to it and just left to what he was doing before. Lee told Guy about this, and Guy was ecstatic. He went over to thank Naruto, and Naruto said there was no problem. Sasuke was seething in anger because Naruto beat Lee with barely trying, and just completely destroyed him. Sakura was astonished at Naruto because he just beat Lee, a person that Sasuke couldn't beat. But anyways, Naruto left and he went to the Chunin exams, to the written test. Except from there happened to Karin, except Naruto knowing most of the answers, actually knowing all the answers and breaking his father's record, getting 100%. He then went into the forest of death. They still met Orochimaru, but this time Naruto activated his Mangekyo or Sharingan and started to actually deal damage to Orochimaru. He cast Amaterasu, but Orochimaru shedded his skin and Naruto couldn't really do anything about it. And Orochimaru ended up beating Naruto and Sasuke. After that, everything proceeded to canon, except Naruto never getting knocked out and beating the sound Genin. But Naruto did beat Sasuke again because he was in his Christmas form. But anyways, anyways, damn it. Anyways, then it came to the preliminaries. Naruto fought.
It's not a brush. It's not something like a. I scrub my foot. I scrub my foot. I scrub my foot. I take it and start to scratch on it, and then I rub it with peroxide and alcohol. When I fall asleep, I go.
Naruto fought Kiba, and Kiba started to say that Naruto was weak and he was the dead last. But Naruto didn't even pay attention to him, which many people saw weird because Naruto would normally lash out and get angry.
Oh, this blood pressure tablet there, I don't know.
But normally get angry. But
I fall asleep, yeah.
He then completely demolished.
I did stop taking it,
Kiba.
right? Because it's even a tablet.
Anyways,
and when I read on it,
he completely demolished Kiba.
But
But everything from there happened canon. And I'm gonna say Naruto acknowledged Ino and Hinata, and when Naruto congratulated Ino and told her that she did her best, she was happy and told Hinata so too after healing Hinata, and he swore to Neji that he was gonna beat him into the ground, and Neji just smirked at this comment and just left really. Naruto left and went and left and just went up. He met Konohama along the way and just decided to carry Konohama with him. He then after a while met Jiraiya and in the training exams, Naruto also met a girl, Fu. And Fu explained her life, and Naruto explained his life. They had a lot in common, and just straight up had a lot in common. I also met another girl in the forest of death, which he also told her that she could live with him if the village wasn't taken right. Her name was Karin Uzumaki, and when Karin heard Naruto's last name, she instantly trusted him. And Naruto trusted her too. And Karin is making a plan to leave her village and come to Konoha and stay with Naruto. Anyways, so Naruto goes and he trains with Jiraiya, but he also invites Fu, Karin, Hinata, and Ino to train with him, train under him. He taught Ino the Shadow Clone and saw the flaw that the Yamanakas have. They cannot move their body when using mind transfer jutsu. So Naruto decided to give her the Shadow Clone jutsu and also gave him some of his chakra that will slowly develop her chakra coils, and did the same with the rest. But Karin didn't need to do that. He taught her the Shadow Clone and gave her a weapon that he had in his necklace, and he only figured this out when he awakened his powers. And yeah, he gave her a sword, a tanto, But when she channeled chakra to the Tonto could turn into a whip and capture people if she wanted it to do it. If she wanted it to do so. Then I went over and then he started to train Konohamaru. I told Konohamaru that he would be learning what his father learned. I also gave him a staff with at the two ends of the staff have a golden have a golden end, and it looks a lot like a more slimmer antimantium staff, and it can also extend like the adamantium staff. But hey, he then gave Hinata some two daggers that looked like awesomeness, where she could channel her chakra to, and she also had water, wind, and lightning chakra that Naruto noted and gave from them. He also gave Karin a sword, but when he gave him to Fu, she said she didn't really want any weapons. She was more like a person that would put person to sleep to a person and not really kill them. Naruto had no problem with this and didn't give her anything. He then took away his sword that he has that had a weird ability to fuse with one other sword to make another sword, but this sword was also indestructible, so it would have the attributes of the natural sword with another absorbed sword that he already had. So Naruto would go and he would create his own version to his curse mark. He would have been studying his curse mark, infusing Buddha Sage Chakra through his curse mark, and giving each and every one of them a curse mark. And they had 3 Tomoes each. Karin, Fu, Hinata, and Ino had a 3 golden Tomoe on their necks. But it was only golden when they activated. It was red most of the time. It was a very dull color of red. He also gives this to Konohamaru. I started to teach him all 5 chakra natures. I say with Konohamaru, I just have 5 chakra natures so I can make this easier for myself and I don't have to explain why he would have it. That's so much effort. Anyways, where was I? Naruto would decide that he created his own variation of the Chidori, calling it Black Lightning, because he saw Kakashi use Chidori before. Naruto just copied what he saw with the Uzumaki Sharingan, and just started to do his thing, right? And by the way, just check out my new what if that I had Demon Slayer, Tanjiro Uchiha. I'm gonna keep on doing it even if it doesn't do that well because I like Demon Slayer, so perfect for me. I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what. But anyways. He kept on training, he kept on training him. But this is where I'm gonna end off my video, and we're gonna have our other tomorrow. Bye guys.